Hi guys, so in this video I'm going to be doing a tutorial based on this look that I'm wearing right now. It's kind of inspired by St. Patrick's Day coming up because it is March, but my husband and I are going on a hot date tonight. Well, a date. Any date outside of the house without the kids is a hot date for us, so anyway, if you like what you see then just keep watching. First I'm starting out by priming my eyelids with the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. And I like to do this just to cancel out any discoloration or veins or redness in my eyes so that the color of the eyeshadow really shows up. I'm just setting that concealer with the RCMA No Color Powder just to prevent creasing and so that the eyeshadows will blend in really nicely. Okay, and I'm going to take this really big fluffy brush and this shade right here called Katsina. I'm doing this just to give the crease of my eyelid a little bit more definition and a little bit more depth, and so that the other colors will blend a little nicer. Oh, I accidentally dipped my brush into the black shade right next door. But that's okay because it's gonna be a really dark, smoky eyeball look. So hopefully it'll work out. We will see. And I'm dragging that all the way into the inner corner a lot because I want this look to be really rounded. There's a lot of blending in this eye look, so just beware. Okay, now with this flat shading brush by Real Techniques, it has a little bit of fluff to it, not a lot though. I'm going to be dipping into this shade. It's a black shade called Chad. I'm going to apply that all over the lid. I love this color because it is so intense and black. This is black. This is what I'm talking about when I say I want a black and not a washed out gray. Now with a smaller, slightly pinched, tapered, fluffy blending brush, I'm going to go back into that first shade, Katsina. Kind of blend those edges just a little bit. There's a lot of back and forth work, just because you don't want to blend the black anywhere too high or anywhere that you don't want it, so you just kind of go back and forth. I know I just look like a raccoon right now, but just trust me. And then I'm taking Real Techniques Deluxe crease brush. It's one that's really densely packed, and it's really good for taking away some of the color without blending it up. Like this one will blend things up just a little bit and blend them in, and this one kind of just blends it in and decreases the intensity just a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to go into this Morphe palette that they did a collaboration with KathleenLights with, into this kind of matte bone shade. I'm going to put that right underneath my brow bone just to help prevent any color from transferring up there, to keep things from becoming muddy. Now I'm going into the Nubian 2 palette by Juvia's Place, into this shade right here called Egypt. It's a really beautiful green color. I'm taking a flat shading brush and just packing that onto the eye. taking that all the way up to the crease, but I'm not going above the crease because when I blend that in, it'll just automatically be blended up just a touch, which is what I want, but I don't want to put any of the intense color up there quite yet. So I'm going back in with that Katsina color yet again and blending that in. And I did my eyes first just in case there was some fallout or any color that got on my cheeks or around my eyes anywhere that I didn't want. So that I can just clean that up really nicely without ruining my base. Okay, and for primer, I'm just using a pore minimizing, pore filling primer. Using the Porefessional by Benefit. And just smoothing that in and pressing that in anywhere that my pores seem to like to make a grand appearance. Okay, and for foundation, I'm using the Conceal and Perfect by Milani. I'm using 3 different shades because I don't know what my color is right now. So I'm using 01 Creamy Vanilla, 00A Porcelain, and 00B Light because the 001s are a touch too light for me, and then the 01 Creamy Vanilla is a little too yellow, and so I find that mixing all 3 of them together I get a little bit of a closer shade. So I guess I'm just high maintenance. And I'm just blending that in with my Flower Beauty perfecting sponge or blending sponge or whatever it's called. Can you hear that? Our bathroom is right on the other side of the wall of this room, and my little baby boy is taking a bath and really aggressively enjoying it. There's a lot of grunting going on over there. Okay, and to conceal any blemishes, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade 10 Light. My skin has not been very happy with me, and so I have a few. And then for under my eye, I'm mixing that shade with the 15 Fair concealer, and also highlighting kind of the rest of my face, down the bridge of the nose, my forehead, a little bit of the Cupid's bow, and my chin and around my mouth. And just blending that in. Okay, and to set that, I'm just using the RCMA No Color Powder. I'm kind of baking underneath my eye because I'm going on a hot date tonight and we don't want no wrinkles showing up because my husband doesn't know how old I am. Also down the bridge of my nose. I'm just sweeping that away with the tapered brush by Eco Tools. And then setting the rest of my face with just a little bit more powder. Not a lot because I have dry skin. Okay, and for contour, I'm going to be using the Real Techniques Dual Fiber Contour Brush. I love this brush because, as you can see, not just the color difference, but the bristles are pretty dense right here, and there's a few that kind of wispy up to the top and the tip. And so I feel as though my contour is blended really nicely with this brush. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, the contour powder that I'm using, I'm still trying out this Found Makeup by Walmart. So it's their Sculpt and Define Contour Palette. So far, I don't hate it. I'm not mad at it at all. Okay, and then for my nose, I like to take this Real Techniques 200 brush. It's like part of their Elite collection or something like that. So, and then I sculpt my nose a little bit. And then to define my lips a little bit and to make them look a little poutier, I just go right underneath and then just a touch on the sides right here. Not too much because it could look like you've got a beard going on or really bad goatee. And then to just warm up the face just a little bit, I'll be using my butter bronzer. I love this stuff. It smells so good, you guys. With the Real Techniques blush brush, but I like this a lot for bronzing. So I'm just gonna go over parts of the skin that I've contoured with just a little bit wider to help blend that contour in and to give it more of a sun-kissed bronzy look. Okay, and for blush, I don't want something too intense. I'm using the Tarte Party blush and the Real Techniques Dual Fiber Face Brush. And then for highlighter, I'm going to go in with the Found Instant Glow palette. I'm trying this out as well. And I'm going to go in with the gold color that is called Moonstone. Very natural highlight, so I think after I get my eyes all done I might go back in with something else, because since I am going out in the night, we might be taking pictures, I want something a little more intense than what that can offer. So to quickly finish up the eyes, I'm going to be taking this Eco Tools liner smudge brush, just an itty bitty teeny like blending brush. It's kind of adorable. I'm going to go in with a teeny bit of Jade. I'm going to take a bigger fluffy brush, but still pretty small, and run that along where we just put the black, just to blend it out a lot more. Make it look a little less harsh, a little bit less intense. Okay, and then using a teeny tiny eyeliner brush by Eco Tools, I'm going to go into that green shade called Egypt and run that along the lower lash line. Okay, and for an inner corner highlight, I'm going into the Nubian 2 palette in this shade right here called Zuri. And I'm just popping that on the inner corners. Okay, and before I finish the eyes, I'm going to do my eyebrows. Oh, and I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow, no, not Brow Wiz. Yeah, Brow Wiz. The shade Medium or something. And this is the Brow Stylist Plumper Brow Gel Mascara by Loreal. Well, brows are supposed to be sisters, not twins, right? I feel like that's code for I messed up my brows, but I don't care to go back and redo them, because who has time for that? Okay, and then just to finish up the eyes a little bit, I'm going to go into that inner corner highlight shade and highlight just barely under the brow bone right there. Because it's March and it's St. Patrick's Day, I'm going to play around with a little bit of gold. So I'm going to take this color right here in the Saharan palette called, oh boy, I don't know what that's called. Wodaabe? What's that? Look, just look at the name. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's right there. So, boop, that name, that color. It's gold. And I'm gonna put that right on in the middle of the lower lash line. I don't even know if it's gonna work, but we'll see. Right in the middle of that lower lash line. I'm gonna create a soft halo eye look. I don't think it'll show up a whole lot, but just to give a little bit of interest and depth and dimension and yeah, sure. Just kind of softly blend in those edges. Okay, I kind of like how that turned out. I feel like the green is more of a goldish green, and so the gold blends in really nicely, but you can still see it. You can still see it without it like jumping out at you and attacking you. Okay, we get it, it's St. Patrick's Day. I'm gonna go in with the Revlon Colorstay eyeliner in the shade Jade, 206 Jade. I'm just gonna apply that to my waterline. And curling my eyelashes. And I'm using this Found Volumizing Mascara. Still kind of testing this out. And this step is totally optional, but I feel like my eyelashes kind of get lost in this really intense eye look. So I'm going to be using some fake lashes, and these are by My Lash in the style Natural. I just feel like they give a nice drama and yeah, nice and fluffy, but not too overpowering. And for the lips, I'm going to go in with this ColourPop lip liner in the shade Skimpy. And then for the actual lipstick, I'm going to be going in with this Flower Beauty Naked Blush in the matte formula. And I've been really loving this color lately. Okay, and I do want a little bit more of an intense highlight. That's what I want. So I'm going to go into this Master Chrome highlight in Molten Gold by Maybelline. That's better, lots better, yes. Okay, and to set my face, I'm going to use this Dewy Setting Spray by Found. And I'm actually going to be using both the dewy and the mattifying one. I'm going to apply the dewy to one side and the mattifying to the other, just to see if there's any difference, see if I prefer one or the other. One makes the other last a little longer. So yeah, so the dewy to the right side of my face. And then mattifying. Oh, that kind of stinks. Okay, and that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, let me know, and I'll see you next time. Bye!